And we are live.
Live and live at 5. Live at live.
There we are. Good morning, everybody. And Carol was first. She must have been waiting for that alert to go up, saying that I was doing a show this morning, because she was immediately in there, and she went first. Laugh out loud. So you got
Yeah.
to get up early to beat Carol.
Hi,
Let's
Carol.
see.
Hi, Lag. Hi, Bump Crack.
Good morning, Glock. Of course, Carol.
Good morning, Mackenzie.
Reds. Glad you could make it in here this morning. Mackenzie. Good
Reds.
morning. And of course, our ever loving lag.
Ever loving.
Yep. Um, I hope everybody's having a great morning. We just talking about how nice the weather was out here on the East Coast. It's not in the hundreds
Yes,
yet, so we're good. Yeah, lag. Um,
for the Queen.
Yesterday over on Scott's show, Scott does this morning show on Wednesdays, if y'all are not aware of that. He was talking about recalls of that coffee pot.
Yeah.
And I was just doing some looking yesterday, and the original company that manufactured that has gone out of business.
That one.
Yeah, and
Corning?
so
Corning's not out
well,
of business.
that one they were the branding was acquired by another company.
Oh.
So if you have one of those, you're just like crap out of luck, because the new company is not recognizing any call by. I mean, not
Yeah.
they're not buying on back or anything.
Well, I didn't get much for it. The Lutheran sold it to me for like $5, so I can use it to make my own coffee if I want to take my chance. It actually looks pretty handy. It's way smaller than my countertop coffee maker.
Good morning, Truth.
I may try it. I may try it a few times. I'm just going to be careful though and make sure.
Yeah, apparently that the glue that holds the ring around the top of it, the handle part
Yeah,
of it, becomes
up
loose.
underneath the rim there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
so they
supposed to be.
recommend. I was looking at a Facebook group yesterday, and the person that runs a Facebook group recommended like holding a pot holder or something under it to give it some extra support.
Yeah, or
And
just
apparently,
throw it
he has
away.
one of every style of those coffee pots. So,
Yeah, it's time to go do battle with the Lutherans, but I'm kind of broke. I spent a bunch of money at.
what'd you buy?
Oh, what's his name? Nate. Nate. Every day I'm hustling. He was
Right.
killed in an auto accident, and the fundraiser auction was all afternoon and evening yesterday on Victoria's channel. So I went and bought a whole bunch of different lots. I got some watches. I got one lot was Commonwealth picker and part-time pickers logo caps that they had signed.
Right. Good
So I bought
morning,
that
Edison.
lot.
Well, you know, it's always a challenge when you get a fight with the old ladies at the Lutheran church.
Yeah, they're evil. I keep going back because
You're in
I
love with
kind
one of them.
yeah, no.
The old one that would.
I like talking to all the people that hang out there, and I've actually made a couple of contacts and done a private pick or two out of that place. And they actually make me money. I've made some money off of that place.
Yeah, you've had to go to war with them a couple of times, but you you made money.
Well,
There's
that
a
old
Lutheran
dried up
church.
biddy that works behind the jewelry counter. She takes the cake now.
Is she still there?
Oh yeah. She even sends me she's got my phone number. I forget how she got my phone number. But she'll message me that so and so is up for sale at the rummage sale. You need to come out and buy it. And it's always something they want more money for than it's worth, but whatever. But yeah, she thinks she's my girlfriend.
Hold on a second. Todd goes to a Lutheran church that has a rummage sale every Thursday, and he had those old ladies down there give him a hard time. I was telling Roberta, let her know what what were you talking about. But you've had an ongoing battle with the lady down there for a good while now.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably at least a dozen ladies down there and guys that volunteer their work down there, and I tease all of them. I got to poke at them,
You
mess
got
with
to
them.
quit poking the lion now.
Yeah, I walk into the room that's got like the kitchen appliances and glassware, and first thing I say when I walk in that room door is, "Where's the treasure?" And they just look at me and laugh.
But you'll miss her when she retires.
Yeah, Mike, I think I think I set my phone down on the counter there one time. She grabbed it up and got my number off of it. Something, I don't know.
She put her number into it.
I actually did a private pick with her like 3 or 4 years ago before she got all goofy, and she had my phone number from them.
Thought you were 16 again, weren't you? Some young lady was grabbing up your phone and typing your number. Said, "Let me give you my number."
No, I just gave her my number so we could meet, and she wanted to show me some stuff she wanted to sell, and I said, "Sure, I'll look at it." I didn't buy hardly anything from her, but now she's got my number. No, she actually had a storage building in a town that's really close to here. Let me give you my digits. What?
Yep, that's right, Lag. He is a player in his younger days, and he just can't let it go. His age bracket has moved quite a bit, though.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
You know, speaking of age brackets, Todd, you should have a high school reunion coming up soon, shouldn't you?
Yeah, it's not long.
You graduated in 74?
74, so.
The reason I asked that because yesterday I got a message from one of the girls I went to high school with, and they're talking about doing a low key because it'll be 50, 50. in 26, and they were talking about doing a low key thing, because apparently there's not many of us left, and
What are y'all dying off?
I guess I knew of about 3 that had passed away, but I didn't know that so many other ones had. Anyway, they're wanting to do a low key thing. Maybe meet at the high school one, like do it in May. So while the school's still operating, we'll go to the high school, and because they've added on to it. So they must have added 4 buildings onto our school.
Yeah,
And she knows
Nate.
she's the daughter of the principal of the school, so she's already talked to him about.
Nate was in some kind of automobile accident and just it killed him. I don't know
Yeah,
any more about it than that. But he left behind a lovely wife and three cute kids. Sad.
yeah.
So I bought about as much stuff as I could afford at the auction. So not bragging, just saying that kind of thing tugs on me. You know, people, my wife included especially, likes to give to animal rescues and stuff like that. And all that's fine. But me personally, I'd rather give to someone in need than just keep. There's a lot of, I think we're going to get more and more and more. This economy keeps going sour. People that just need things. Yeah, I know pets. I love pets. I have pets. It just, Gwen regularly gives to a dog rescue in Dallas. She keeps looking at the picture saying, "Can we adopt this one?" God, we got 2 dogs and you got all them damn cats outside. No.
I'm gonna send.
Then
I've got her.
then out loud I say, not right now, honey.
I'm going to send Gwen's email address to my niece and get her on her mailing list, because she's the executive director, I guess you'd call her, of the Operation Care, which is a animal adoption rescue organization.
No, the Cowboys are well funded, lag. They don't need my money.
Yeah, your dogs are like our cat. They are spoiled rotten.
Yep.
When our air conditioner quit working, while we were waiting on people to get out here and get it fixed, our cats were like, "Come on, guys! I could be outside. It'd be hot."
Clark says, "I love animals," next to a side of mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh, that'll get you killed by some of these crazy people. There's. Sorry, Scott. I didn't see you come in.
Hi, Scott. Yeah, we were in Miami Beach in January, and my brother and his wife, and we were there for a couple of days, and we were walking on the streets. And there was a group of people with computers screens strapped to their chest showing films of animals getting slaughtered. And one of the people, their job was to come up and ask, how does that make you feel? And my brother said, "That makes me hungry for a steak."
Have y'all seen it's been going viral this week? One of the PETA protests and one of those animal protests. and there's a guy sitting there eating a shish kebab right in front of him, and he licks on it, and he's.
How are you this morning, Scott?
I don't know what y'all talking about. Spoiled animals, y'all are crazy.
Scott's got a couple around his house that's just as spoiled.
Trying to get rid of Phoebe, who wouldn't go outside with her mama because I was not awake yet, so she's in there asleep with me.
Both my
Joni
dogs.
Joni
When
will
I've
get
got
rid
a
of Scott
plate of food, I'll get one dog on one side and one dog on the other, and they'll paw at me, and they'll even jump their front paws up on my leg and say, "Give me a bite, give me a bite."
Joni
Eating
will
a
get rid of
falafel.
Scott and the boy before she'll get rid of her dogs.
You're probably right. Yeah, that Phoebe, she's already had a traumatic adventure this morning. Joni was drinking her coffee on the porch, and she's like, "You should have seen Phoebe run away, but one of the hummingbirds dive bombed her."
They're vicious.
Joni says she counted 20 of them out there this morning. 20.
Good grief.
When my mom and dad lived out on Lake Wiley, they had a bunch of feeders. And my mom said that there was one hummingbird that would come up and it would run off the other hummingbirds. Now, there's 4 of those feeders that are filled, and they would just run them off.
We have 6. There's on one of the feeders, there's a little bitty male, a little ruby-throated male. He sits on top of the feeder all day, just sits there. And if somebody comes near it, he chases them off. On one of the 6 feeders, he just sits there. They're fascinating to watch. They're very relaxing. The way that they chase each other and the way they move. I mean, it's insane.
Carol says, you're old when the excitement of the day is watching the hummingbirds.
2 of the feeders I just got from to make it from 4 to 6. I got them because they were 18 or 20 ounce feeders. They were like, you got 2 in a pack from Amazon. They will drink them 2 down, almost 40 ounces of sugar water in a day. They're that great. And they'll be from if it gets really hot here, they'll go away in the middle of the day, but from about 10 minutes after sunup and 10 minutes before sundown, they fly all over the back of our house.
Yeah, I read some article or something on hummingbirds. They use up more calories per pound than just about any other animal on Earth. They just burn calories for the size that they are.
I had the small door open here yesterday, and here come 2 of them in here, flying around in the building in here. I had to open the big door and chase them out because if they get stuck in here like overnight, they'll be dead. Yeah. They have to feed so often.
Scott, we kind of hit on it earlier, but you were talking about the recall of that coffee pot. Well, that sent me down a hole yesterday, and I went to the government recall page, and there is a lot of children's night, pajamas and nightgowns and whatnot that have been recalled, and because they're not flame retardant, and they're like sold exclusively on Amazon, and then they'll have, I guess it's a person's Amazon name.
I bet they're all Chinese sellers. They're either private label or Chinese sellers because they're not they don't, people think private label, I'm just going to copy something or whatever, but there's so much testing and stuff that goes into a lot of these things that you don't even know that you need to know it.
So it's amazing. I was just amazed by how many. I mean, it's like a couple of dozen if you look through it, all the way down through it, of just kids' clothes. and it's all sold exclusively on Amazon, which, like you said, is probably private label stuff, or somebody's ordered 3 gross from China.
Yeah, man, I don't do that.
I know you don't sell clothes at all unless it's like t-shirts.
Underwear. Yeah. And I saw y'all touched on Nate earlier. That was a young man with 36. You know, we've lost several in the reselling community here in the last year, and it's a weird one. If you read some of the details, he was on his way to work because he had a job. It was 10 to 6 in the morning, and he evidently turned down the wrong side of a road and got hit, T-boned in the driver door, which is the impact killed him. But it's just strange. You know, was he just that tired? Did he? You know, if you're going to work, you would think, how do you turn down the wrong side of a road going to work if that's where if you've been there more than a few times?
Yeah.
It's just sad all the way around. Young kids. I think they had 3 kids. That young kids, little kids.
Yeah, they would be as young as he was. They would be pretty young unless he's from Alabama, and he had his first one when he was like 14. What are you doing? Speaking of car accidents, there was this bloke out in California that was involved in a DUI, and he comes from a prestigious family out there. And apparently, the videos from the accident has been released, and it's causing a lot of buzz because the way as much damage it was done to the car and to the area around it, well, to the 2 cars, it's making people question what this judge was thinking when he gave such a light, penalty for it. You know who I'm talking about? Did you see that?
No, but I know that we right now there's an epidemic of these judges and DAs right now that are they are woke, and they're just not punishing anybody, and they're putting these people back out on the street in order to do more damage. It's almost like it's on purpose to do more damage to the public. And at some point it has to end. You know, San Francisco, one of the most liberal places in this country, recalls their DA because that guy was. If you look at his parents, this wasn't an accident. His parents were flaming liberals that got in trouble and did stupid stuff. And the apple is not going to fall far from the tree. There's got to be if you do something wrong, there's got to be a deterrent. I mean, jail, it happens to be the best thing we've got.
It's
I mean, and people
more and more of these people are, especially people that are in jail for some of this stuff. And now, then all of a sudden these people start getting all these real light verdicts on them. They're going back and saying, what's up with this?
Has anybody watched the documentary "What Is a Woman"? Or I haven't watched the whole thing through, but I've seen excerpts. And he is actually talking to a board certified doctor. She's a pediatrician, and he says, so you're giving kids this medicine, and he looks it up. He goes, it's the same medicine that they give rapists for chemical castration. And she goes, I don't want to talk about it in that light. What I do is help children who are confused with puberty blockers. He goes, you are chemically castrating these children. And, she was so just put off by the fact that you can't use that kind of language around kids because you scare them. Well, no shit, you should scare them. You are doing irreversible harm to these children in the name of let's be for real. How many is there anybody out there who didn't know a Thom girl who grew up to be a beautiful young lady, but early on was good in sports at a young age? You know, you know, boys that carried on because they had sisters.
That's Todd's phone.
Yeah, fine.
Nope.
Reverse said, "What the hell's that?"
Okay, because a little boy had tea time with his sisters. Are we gonna give this some kind of craziness? And he's now a girl.
I'm telling you, 20 years from now, 20, 25 years from now, we're looking at, were you exposed to this, that, and the other? You could be up for compensation. It's going to be the same thing. Were you given puberty blockers as a child? You could be, you could get compensation. If I was I just thought of the word and it went right out of my mind. It's an old man thing. Malpractice insurance company. I would have a clause in it. You are not covered for giving children things like that, puberty blockers and whatnot.
Mr. Sadie, and then there's this, and so the guy's name is Matt Walsh. I like Matt Walsh. He's with the Daily Wire. I listen to his podcast most days, and he is talking to this fella who's Irish. He's somewhere between me and you, Thom. And he's an old fella, and he asked that old fella. He goes, just a country boy. He goes, well, how do you He asked him about all these things, and he goes, I don't care what you do. You can say that you're a gerbil or something. Just don't push that shit on me. And Matt looked at him and goes, well, how do you know you're a man? He goes, well, I guess it's because I got a dick.
The reason
Awesome. I guess it's because I got a dick. And he just says that matter of fact. It's just crazy.
Mr. Sadie has tea time with that house full of girls. They're out bass fishing, and one of them say, Grandpa, it's time for tea. And so everybody puts their rods and reels down, and he gets out his little their teacups, and they all have tea and crumpets sitting out in the middle of the river.
Larry, I would tell you one thing. I would be highly disappointed in the person I think that I know you are if you didn't have tea time with your granddaughters.
Glock says, I work in insurance. There are many exclusions for high-risk medical practices, gender care being among the problems. Some markets will, but at very high premiums.
You want to know the whole thing behind it all? Is these procedures cost $70,000 to $100,000 per child, and then they are stuck with a lifetime of medicine to treat all the craziness. You're talking, $1 to $2 million per child for their lifetime of dealing with this stuff through medicine. They're you think people call resellers crazy, call us, oh, you're taking advantage of people because you've only bought it for $1. We're not changing people and forcing them to be dependent on things that nobody needs this iPod for the rest of their life. You can give the old man $20 for his $1 iPod and walk away. The doctor down the street, they want thousands of dollars a month, and they want it for the rest of your life.
When it comes to a kid, they don't know whether, they can't make up their mind what color pair of pants they want to wear that day.
I want to know when they're going to start.
We don't allow them to own. We don't allow them to vote, own guns. They can't drive till they're 16. But yet at 5 years old, they're supposed to decide, have the brain. You don't finish your brain doesn't finish developing and everything. You're about 22 or 23 years old. Some people as long as 25 or 26. And making catastrophic decisions before you are fully who you are is extremely dangerous.
The parents that still.
I think sometimes it's, I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. if you look at the parents pushing, all of these trans kids that are on in the news on YouTube and whatnot, you look at their parents. Honestly, they don't have a whole lot going on for themselves, and they're living vicariously through their children at their children's expense. That's my opinion.
I mean, and you see, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of wonderful parents. Just going to yard sales, I see a lot of wonderful parents and entrepreneurial parents who are trying to teach their kids to be like them. They'll have lemonade stands and trying to teach their children life skills and that kind of stuff at a younger age. There are amazing things you can do with kids besides, wage a battle for, you miss it if you spend their entire childhood doing that kind of crazy shit. You miss the beauty that is of raising children, and the wonder letting them. I'll never forget it. Jacob came home from second grade and he was mad at this little boy, and because he told me, Jacob, why are you so mad? He goes, because so and so hit me, and I can still see the look on Johnny's face. Johnny goes, so why did he hit you? Mama, he hit me for no fucking reason. I just had to turn and walk. I was laughing so hard. I just turned. I got up and walked away. Johnny's like, where the hell are you going? I'm like,
that's your son.
I mean, was I supposed to put Jacob on a stripper pole? Because when we had guests over, I've told the story a lot. Up until he was about 3, anytime we'd have friends over and Jacob would have bath time, or he'd come out streaking through the house, and we're like, Jacob, would you put some clothes on? You are freaking butt naked, boy. He stand, put his hands on his hips, and go, I'm not naked. I got on socks, and shake his little ass and run off to wherever the hell he was going. I mean, was I supposed to install a stripper pole for him so that he could start working on his whatever
routine, his act? Well, it's the guy that does the Change My Mind YouTube videos. Is that Steven Crowder?
Steven Crowder.
I believe it was his show. He was talking, people on the street and whatnot, and he asked this one guy about it, an older guy, mine and Todd's age, and the guy said, if you got he said, if you got a son that wants to wear dresses, put a dress on him and send him off to school. Don't mess with his body. When he's old enough to make that decision, then that's that point. If he wants to wear dresses, go get him some dresses and send him on his merry way. Yeah, Todd. What about? I mean, Scott. What about?
You said like y'all are like way older than me.
Pretty old.
Yeah, we were just talking about 50th high school reunion.
I hadn't even got to my 40th yet.
Yeah,
it's coming fast though.
Mine will be 26.
So tonight, I listen a little bit of every kind of music, but one of the country artists I really like is Gary Allan. He's coming to Huntsville tonight, and we looked up tickets. Me, Johnny, and another couple friend of ours, and we're like, these tickets are going to be like $80 each, so $160 a couple. By the time we grab something to eat on the way, that's a lot of freaking money for one country artist. And we're like, we'll just pass. We'll just go out to dinner, and we're going to go out to dinner. So I actually have another couple friend who are named Steve and Marsha. Steve Alcorn's wife, his name is Marsha. I have two couple friends in our lives that are Steve and Marsha. So the Huntsville Steve and Marshas, he is a retired retired police officer, and there is a organization called Vet Ticks. And out of the blue, he's like, they have a lottery for 4 tickets to Gary Allan tonight. So he won the 4 tickets to Gary Allan. So we're going to see, for free, we're going to see Gary Allan.
Cool.
So we're excited that
Who was that? Gary who?
Gary Allen. Yeah, his biggest hit was Chasing Airplanes.
I don't know him at all.
You'd have to listen to country music.
Well, I do listen to country music,
Oh,
but
then
I
you
don't
know.
remember. I don't remember people's names. That's terrible. I just
Yeah.
and with the singers we have now, they all sound alike to me. So that makes it even worse.
Hey, you're not monetized. It don't matter.
I have no idea. I haven't heard that song
That's
before.
his biggest hit. Watching Airplanes is his biggest hit.
Like says he only
Mumble rap.
listens to mumble rap.
Yeah, we've never been. Gwen's taken me to Chip and Joanna Gaines complex in Waco
How do
this
y'all live there
afternoon.
and never been there?
I don't know. We just haven't. It
Joni
wasn't a
and
big
Wilson,
deal to me. And Gwen says all of her friends keep asking her about it, and
yeah, we
she
like
says,
them. I
"I've
don't
never
like
been."
them enough to pay $4.99 a month to watch that whatever Discovery Plus, but yeah, we watched a lot of them in the
Yeah.
they come across
So
as good
yeah, I
folks.
spent so much time on the computer yesterday. I spent 2 hours on Scott's show, and then all afternoon and evening on the Nate Hustling
the auction.
Pickers auction. I bought a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I was there for a few minutes. Yeah, I got to go over here and I got to delete the show from yesterday
Why?
because they came and got me from 2 weeks ago and hit me with an account warning, and I'm like, I think the show yesterday was worse than that one, and I don't really understand. I don't even know what was said, but I mentioned the evil I word and the evil C word, so I'm sure. So I'll just go ahead and delete it before they put a strike on it. Assholes.
But it streamed it over to Rumble, didn't it?
It is in a
Or-
Rumble.
oh yeah, Craig, you've been to it, and I haven't. Yeah, we're gonna go look at it.
Hey, that's a good idea, Tom. I'll go on my channel and tell everybody if you're coming late and want to watch that. Yeah. Due to the communists.
Scott's going to be like Crowder. He's off this week. 2 weeks later, he's back on. I was wondering, a little reselling question here. Not that I don't doubt you, Scott. Don't think that I'm checking up on you, but I was reading about the potential for the UPS and the FedEx strikes, and they're like, Amazon won't be able to keep up, and all of that mess. Are you doing anything, or Todd, are you doing anything different with that in mind, as far as maybe going ahead and listing everything that's kind of Christmassy like, or are you just going, just whatever happens?
All right, I had to finish typing that it was on available on Rumble because of the Communist Manifesto of YouTube.
Really?
I'm not doing anything any different. I think when is the UPS? When is it looming? I think that was still a few weeks.
But they're wanting UPS is wanting like 300 million in benefits or something like that. Did y'all freeze up?
Yes, I
No,
did.
Okay,
I was
I
reading
see it.
Sadie's comment. Yeah, Kevin gets accused of that a lot, doesn't he? He's got a big YouTube channel, and a lot of people that watch him buy stuff from him. There's nothing wrong with that.
Which Kevin are we talking about? Commonwealth.
Commonwealth. Yeah, he was in the auction a bunch last night in the side chat.
I met him in person. I like Kevin. He's a really nice guy. He was really nice in person. Um, just be, just because people want to buy stuff from you and support you, whatever. It's at the end of the day, you can't go. Oh wait a minute, no. Even if you want this item, you can't have it. I mean, if somebody, you have to be okay with that. I'm the worst too. I would tell you my weakness on YouTube and all this stuff is being an introvert. I have never sold myself and that kind of stuff. I'm not very good at it. And so, people, I've been stagnant for 3 or 4 years and that's the main reason is because I don't do self-promotion. I've done so for 4 or 5 years of morning shows. I don't even know if I've ever even asked hardly anybody more than once or twice to hit the thumbs up button, much less do anything else.
Yeah.
I always forget.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin works hard at that. I mean, more power to him.
People who don't do YouTube don't understand the commitment that YouTube is.
And he built his channel with just honesty and just
Tim,
this is what I do, and if you
How
want to
many
buy
people
my
has he got on
T-shirt,
this
we'll get
channel?
those.
Tim, you don't understand. I'm 100% introvert, but I promise you, man. All right, so come out to Vegas with us, Tim. We'll be in Vegas from. I get there on the 7th and leaving on like the 15th. Come on, or the 14th. Come on out. You'll see. There's gonna be all those parties and all that stuff, and people will be talking to me unless I know of someone on or I've had any interaction with them on YouTube. I won't say a word to a soul. I promise you. Unless I am so high that I've overridden all my normal, and that could possibly be the case because I will talk a lot more when I'm stoned, and I plan on being stoned.
The guy from eBay is going to be there, right? And didn't you say yesterday there's a person from eBay is going to be there?
eBay bought 14 tickets, so they should have it. They should have, unless they're going to give them away, they should have 14 representatives. If anybody wants me to ask them something, I will go up and ask them. That's different. I'm kind of perturbed with eBay and some of their policies. So, yeah,
He'll go up with this little hat on with his pressed up on the front of it, his clipboard with 100 questions on it that people will ask him saying, I'm Scott from the Bearded Picker Show, and I have a few questions for you.
I wear one of my MAGA hats. Y'all done it now, motherfucker.
Believe me, they won't care out there because all they care about is you dropping some money with them when they leave.
Well, I don't gamble, so yeah, they don't like me too much.
When we go on cruises, we might drop, if we even drop $1 worth of coins into a slot machine.
Yeah.
No, Miss Berta, she's like, if she even hears them say, bingo is going to be in 30 minutes, we're getting ready to head to the bingo room. Well, Carolyn, there are a bunch of resellers around your neck of the woods.
Bingo is how all the Indian casinos in Oklahoma got started 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's how the Kitabas down in Rock Hill below us, that's how they got started. They had a bingo hall.
Dang it. All right, the coffee for the day is gone.
Do what?
My 1 cup of coffee for the day is now gone.
Yeah, I got it back. I'm not sleeping good at night. I think I'm drinking too much caffeine during the day.
Man, I couldn't sleep yesterday. So last night, man, I slept. I took the CPAP machine off. It tells you how long it's been running. It was like 9 hours and 10 minutes. I'm like, winning. Called up for yesterday. I need to try that more often. I be tired when I go to bed. I did my walking 3 miles last night, so that helped too.
When do you leave to go to the
October 4th.
Of
The 4th of October.
October? And you'll be gone pretty much the whole month?
Yeah, and I got to be back here Sunday the 23rd, something like that. Because I have to do the auction on the 24th.
How's that working for you?
Sold 957 last week.
Winning.
Yeah, I've been over 900 like the last 4 weeks in a row.
Cool.
Cool. Let's say cool
I
together.
have not broken 1,000, which is kind of frustrating, but
Is that like just individual items, or is that like you put together box lots, or
it's individual items. I have on this auction today. Let's see how many I have. It says I've only got 50 lots, but I've got more than. Maybe I've only got 50. I could have sworn I had way more than 50 lots. So I might not even make 900 today.
Still, 900 divided by 50. What's that?
Yeah, they take 30%. So my check after I gotta list that today. I spent $54 at the auction, so my check was like $616. So one thing I bought at the auction, you guys, I don't know if you're aware of how expensive this is. If you see Sleep Number remotes, has anybody talked about that before?
Yeah, I've seen them talked about. They're expensive.
So one of the auction lots was a Sleep Number remote and the air pump. I won it for $22.50. That model they sell for $190 on eBay. So
pre-owned?
Pre-owned. Yes, sir. I need to list that today because they've got a sell-through rate of like 500%. All right, it's closer to 90%, but yeah. Yeah, Tim, 30%.
Carol, $600 a week won't even pay for your Starbucks. How did you get involved in the auctions?
Okay, so Harlan's been Harlan's been selling there for 7 years. I've only been selling for 3. So through Harlan, I knew about it, and Harlan needed to take a month off or something a few years ago. He's like, you got all this stuff. Don't you want to cover my tables so I don't lose them? I'm like, sure, I'll cover your tables. And when I got finished covering his tables, it ended up being 6 weeks. I told John, I'm like, man, I like to just keep going. So he gave me 2 tables in, and then I got 2 more. So and now I know that I've got 3 tables one week and 2 the next.
Well, if you don't mind, tell us how this whole thing works.
So every Monday,
Because if you say it on your show, it's liable to get banned.
so I have 2 8-foot tables. So every Monday we go up there. You got from 7 to noon. You put everything on the tables. I spread it out and put little note cards in front of it so they know how to divide the lots up. And it starts on Thursday and ends on Thursday. It's a slow close, and they take 30% and give you a check for 60. So every Monday I drop stuff off and pick up a check from the week before, and it's just every Monday over and over and over. But it's pretty simple. You know, they take the pictures, they make a little description, they get it put it on the website, they do all that stuff. All I do is drop it off. Go find it at yard sales and drop it off.
Is this like through High Bid or something like that, or do they have their own site?
They did High Bid for about 12 years. High Bid got kind of expensive, and then High Bid crashed about a year ago. You remember when they got hijacked for their passwords or whatever?
Right.
And then they switched to a site called Bid Wrangler, which is the same thing. It's just a different company. So they use Bid Wrangler. But it's a lot of fun. The most fun of it is, man, I'll pick up stuff at a yard sale this weekend, and it'll be at the auction on Monday. So in less than 2 weeks, you can pick it up at the yard sale and turn it into cash 2 weeks later. And we buy anything, and that's the key, man. And you know, big stuff that you normally wouldn't sell, you know, we'll buy metal shelves, we'll buy anything like that. Because the size doesn't matter, ladies, at the auction. Because I could sell something as small as an iPod, and I would get decent money for an iPod. Or last week I sold a set of the metal. These metal shelves are great, by the way. You know, the kind from that you go and buy, and you have to put all little screws in it to screw it all together. That kind. I got one at a yard sale for $1, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. They had an estate sale. They had 4 yard sales, and they were like, everything's $1. It's got to go. I'm like, what about the shelves? I got shelves too. So I bought one of the shelves for $1. Couldn't fit it in the van. Me and Harlan had already filled the van. Harlan's like, no problem. I'll go pick it up because I've got to go to work tomorrow. It's down by work. He calls me and says, I'm on my way. I'm like, all right, I'm here. Come on, bring it on. And he calls me back 10 minutes later. It just flew out the back of the truck and landed on the highway. I'm like, he said, I didn't think it would fly there. I didn't even tie it down. I'm like, damn it. Because it's that thin metal. So he gets it to the house, and we sit there and play with it, straightening it out, tightening the screws back up, making the little dents out of it. I sold it for $60 at the auction, even though it flew out of the truck.
That's a great story.
All I can think of is these photos that come through on Facebook where they've got like a car and they've got 3 mattresses, a suitcase, a refrigerator all piled up on top of the cars. Sounds like that crowd from down in Alabama.
That reminds me of, I went to the hardware store to buy some of that styrofoam board to pack something with. I was packing something big, and that's good cushioning. And I was coming back from the hardware store 3 blocks. I thought, I don't need to tie this down. I only live 3 blocks away from the hardware store. I'll be dogged if that pink styrofoam with the little what's their logo, come flying out the back of my pickup. And I'm like, freaking wrecking crapping. All the corners are chipped off. Yeah.
So a lot of Thursday nights, we won't do it tonight because I'll be at the concert, but I'll just be on speakerphone with Harlan, and we'll watch his ends, his tables. There's like 2 tables between us, so his will end, and then 10 minutes later mine will end. So we watch his items in and watch mine in, and I'm like, can you believe? Look at that damn set of shelves with wings went for $60.
I was looking at Bid Wrangler. they're just a platform for people to set up their own auctions. They're not like
Mhm.
like high bid, where you can go in there and you can look for
No,
auctions and what.
you can't search You can't search for Bid Wrangler to find where the Bid Wrangler auctions are.
I don't see any.
I
I
haven't
don't
looked.
see a place to do that.
So here's some stuff that I've got tonight. I've got a drawer organizer, which is just a set of little drawers on wheels.
Right.
It's a $22.50. I paid $6 for that. A Fisker's cutting board, the big crafter ones. I paid $6 for it. It's at $22.50. Some Craftsman trimmers that were I picked them up. Actually, Tracy got them out of the trash can at his neighbors, and they are at $5 right now. So from free to $5. Let's see. A food slicer. I paid $8 for that food slicer. It's a 20. A vintage Toyota hoodie I got from whenever Steve was doing auctions. It's at $22.50 up there right now. I'm trying to buy a pair of boots that I paid $2 for. Ariat boots. They're at 18. An Arrow Garden, which I was going to sell on eBay because they do good money. I knocked it over and broke one of the lights out of it, so it's only got one light. It's at $32.50. I got an iPad second generation. It's at $37.50. So you can, I mean, across the board, you can sell whatever. Here's an Xbox that I've got. It's at $15.
So they're ending tonight.
It ends tonight. Mine end in 11 hours and 8 minutes. So,
And it started Monday.
it started last Thursday.
That's Thursday.
That's a great way to get rid of big stuff.
You
And
just have to take it down there one time and don't worry about shipping it.
I'm selling video games. I'm selling shoes.
That shelf's got highway miles. Never been in an accident.
Hey, that thing's got a clean Carfax. What are you talking about?
Nice, Carol. I bet Carol's got some good crap to sell.
Yeah, but the thing is, go on high bid and find these high bid auctions. They will allow you to search for where high bids are.
Right.
A lot of those are consignment auctions that you can do the same thing I'm doing. You
You can get on
just
first.
come down here, Carol, and do it because can't nobody understand a word
Okay.
you say.
Maybe not.
I'll be off
I
at
don't know
10.
yet.
I'll be off at 10.
Yeah, I really, at my local auction, I need to just, every time I go pick up a load of stuff, I need to take some stuff down to them. Hey, sell this next auction.
Because Carol, you come down here speaking that Yankee, and nobody understand a word out of your mouth.
That's right. That's right.
Podcast.
Where do I park the car?
Yeah, she drops those auras.
Where do I park my car?
And they don't throw any extra syllables in there, you know?
You park your car in the parking lot. Coffee makers from the parking lot.
Make sure you come down here in October. We'll be gone.
She can handle any Southerner.
So a lot of y'all have seen Big Dave on the channel. He'll be here tomorrow for. He's coming tomorrow afternoon. He's buying a car in Tennessee from another reseller about a van. So he flew to Red Eye from California to Nashville last night, and he'll be here tomorrow evening. So he's never done yard sales, so he's going to yard sales with me in Harlan Saturday morning. So that ought to be fun.
Cool.
Did you say he's flying to Alabama to pick up a car?
He flew to Nashville. Yeah,
Nashville.
a van. So Ben is a young reseller. Ben is like 23, 24 at the most. He has a van just like mine, except it's an 11 maroon, same thing. Dave bought that from him because Ben bought a 2022 Toyota Sienna.
Hi, Beth.
Good morning, Beth.
That's not what I wanted. I wanted that one.
You want to Carol, yeah.
Your two boyfriends, Dave and Harlan.
I got to see some video of that. I bet that's gonna be good.
And then Dave is going to meet us in Vegas in October too and hang out. So and then after Vegas is over on Friday, that when the reseller remix ends Thursday night after the party, Friday morning we're going to get up and go to Dave's house and spend the weekend in California. So Harlan's never been to California. Ben's going to go over there with us, and a buddy named Scott Connon. So there's going to be like 5 of us to get in trouble that weekend after the reseller remix.
You said Harlan has never been to California?
Never been to California. Nope.
It's a good passing through place. And I know there's good people who live out there. But Roberta and I flew through it, and it's just a big old concrete jungle.
Yeah, like there ain't a chance in hell of me coming back a Democrat. I might be even a madder libertarian than I already am.
Now, like he might end up buying an electric car when he gets back.
I like the technology in the electric cars. I don't necessarily. The part I don't like is the range. You know, if the range was fixed where they would go where they were useful, I would seriously consider it, because the nice thing about the big Model X's is they have such a flat floor. They have a flat floor because of the battery and no transmission tunnel that you can really put a lot of stuff in there. But you know, when they only go 300 miles, I'm about to drive to Vegas. That is 1,798 miles from my door to the hotel. Yeah, you know, how much it would add an extra day and a half to the trip just to have to stop and charge.
My father-in-law was telling me about his grandson-in-law's Tesla, and he said it was really nice. He said the same thing that you said. The only thing that he did not like about it was the fact that you got to charge those batteries in it. But he said it will fly, it rides good, and he don't have the big fancy one. He's got like the entry level.
Amy Lee is a reseller. She's on every now and then. She has a Model 3 that she had one of the first Model 3s. That was supposed to be the inexpensive one. It's now 50-something thousand.
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you how to get to a charger. It's got cameras all around. Well, it on the dash shows you car. You don't have to have blind spot warning in the mirrors, because on the dash it tracks cars all around you. I mean, it does some cool stuff. But
when you're bored and you don't have anything else to do, if you search YouTube for Tesla cameras, videos, there is a lot of them on there, and it's like they're driving down the road and you see cars coming up beside them because they got cameras everywhere. Yeah, there's one I watch called. He puts out a video every Sunday. It's Wham Bam Tesla Cam is the name of the channel, and he's got a ton of, I mean, close to 1 million followers, and it's all about accidents that the car records, and you know it's got and then a lot of it. There'll be people who are such assholes in this world that they'll key these cars and do everything. But if you touch the car, the camera's trigger. And so they catch these people and put them in jail for destruction of property because people hate these cars so much they'll do stuff to them. They caught one the other the last Sunday's video. I'm sitting there watching it. This guy pulled up in a pickup truck. He went into the grocery store or wherever it was and came back out. He decided he was going to pee on the Tesla. And it's got video recording of him and his little member pissing on the fucking car. And then as soon as he drives off, it gets his license plate and everything else. And you know, you file a police report, you know, and the guy's gonna get arrested for
for whatever charges they're going to come up with. It's absolutely insane what it'll do. What you know, you hear the same story. The cop, I showed the cop the video, and they're like, we wish every car had this because it makes our job easier to figure out who's at fault for these wrecks.
Yeah. That's what the video I was watching, and I mean the videos I was watching, they were saying too, because they have basically 360-degree view all the way around the cars. Now, my question about that is, how much does it cost to replace those little freaking cameras? If one of them goes out,
Or if
but
they're the cost
we were at a baby shower this past weekend. Was it this past weekend? Anyway, they got this is their first baby, and they got so much stuff. And he was loading it into the back of his Tesla. And I'm like, dude, you should have held out for the second minivan or the SUV. And he said that you're probably right, because when they finally left, they had his car, his wife's car, which is our niece, and his mother's car full of stuff. But he said that's the only thing he wished they would have had, because they were planning on having a kid, real soon anyway. When he got it, was that they would have had like a minivan or a SUV type vehicle.
Yeah, I think, Mike, I think we're too early about mandating. Everybody's all fearful of what California has mandated. The winds of change grow very quickly, and the public exercises a lot of control. They are just now learning that we have forgot as citizens that this is our country. These elected politicians serve at our behest and under our. We have forgot the power that we have to get rid of these folks and to put new people in. California laws that they sign in, little executive orders that they sign in, can be undone. How mad are the people in I talked to Dave last night. I'm out walking around, and Dave's like, yeah, I just got a text from our emergency alert from California level 2 that we're supposed to go put our thermostats on 78 and not use a washer or dryer and not use this, not use that for the next 6 hours. I'm like, you're out your damn mind. And they want you to buy electric cars to add to this. You must be crazy.
Well, that's once they can get the thing where it's self-charging, then they'll be selling like gang fire,
But you can't. They'll never regenerate, because I forget the term, but even if you put an alternator on them, it doesn't do any good.
Right. But you know what? Let's talk about North Carolina.
It's
you would have to have. Could you imagine having to put a charging station, a big charging station, on the side of the Blue Ridge Parkway? How much environmental damage you would have to do to put one up there? Because during the summer, there's a lot of cars on it. It'll look like a Buc-ee's up there because they have to have so many charging stations. Because it's not like you pull in there in 15 minutes, you're driving out of there.
Yeah, there's a certain physics law. What is the physics law? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Where is it? Come on.
Mr. Sadie, you're going to go find you a electric car that the batteries are bad in it, and put you one of those little generators in the back of it to charge your batteries. That 5 horsepower run, that 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton will run a lot on time off of 5 gallons of gas. You can put it in the back seat because you don't have kids going with you all the time.
You would.
But even the hybrids didn't really ever catch on.
Yeah, have you seen the was it a Chevy Volt that the battery died in a Volt hybrid and they want $30,000 to replace that battery? Mike, you're 100% correct. If people will do some research and do some reading, the Japanese companies are working on hydrogen power cells, and that seems to be more. The biggest thing hydrogen power cells have is that they have to, they'd have to replace gas stations. You still need the same fuel, but it's a pressurized system where it's a 3 or 4 minute fill up like gas. As it releases water to push the same energy, the same thing, but it would need a small battery. But I think hydrogen is probably the answer. Right now, it looks like hydrogen is a better answer, but because hydrogen doesn't mean we're going to drill these big holes in the ground looking for lithium. If you've ever seen a lithium strip mine, they are awful. God, they're terrible.
Mr. Sadie, there was a guy that lived out on Lake Wiley. He was a bit of a tree hugger, and he had a trolling motor that was foot powered. You'd see him going down along the edge of the water or the edge of the banks, just pedaling away. So that's what you need to get you, so you don't have to worry about your battery going dead.
So, like, I was watching one of these YouTube videos of a company that is actually building the hydrogen cars, and that hydrogen tank that's in these cars, and the way it's built, you can't puncture this stupid thing. So that might have been an older model lag, but the newer ones that they're building now, that the Toyota's building, there's damn near nothing you can do to make this tank explode. Nothing. They've tried shooting it with everything. They've tried everything. Nothing.
Have you ever seen how these idiots in North Carolina drive and South Carolina drive? They'll find a way to blow one up.
I'm from North Carolina. I've spent how many years there?
Oh, yeah.
17. I've spent 30 years in North Carolina. More there than anywhere else. I know how they drive. Wilmington's awful.
I tell people these, the reason we like to stay off the road when we do get ice or snow is because I'm not worried about my driving. I'm worried about everybody else's driving because these fools can't drive when it's sunny and 70. But you need, I think there's more tax money available for electric car development than there is for the hydrogen.
Yeah, Mr. Sadie, by the way, this lady was some kind of, I forget what her degree was in, but she had a lot of experience building this stuff, and they were going over it. It was crazy how much Kevlar and everything else they put around this tank. I mean, it would not do nothing. You could not do anything with it.
I watched a couple of little clips of that 70s show. You know what I'm talking about? Now my YouTube feed is full of them. But anyway, there was one where the boys are sitting around the table, and the ditzy went on there. I can't remember what his name is. He's got the girlfriend named Jackie. He was talking about, man, did you see in the magazine about the guy that created the engine that runs off water? Do you remember? Anybody remember the ads that used to be in like the magazines where they would, this guy has developed a process so you inject water into along with your gasoline into your motor to get better gas mileage and whatnot. And I thought to myself, I wonder whatever happened to that guy. But they're going to have to, I don't. But see, there's a lot of things you can buy used cars in California, even after the mandate that you have to do away with everything's electric. They just can't sell new cars in California. from what I was hearing last night while watching a YouTube channel. So, people, it's going to be a big market. Buy a car and drive it to California and sell it as used, which it will be, pre-owned. But if they get rid of gas in California, gas vehicles in California, that state will dry up.
Todd, the flippin' hustler. How you doing, Todd?
I was trying to find that video I watched. I still can't find it. It sucks.
There's the link if anybody wants to come in for a few minutes.
So what he's trying to say is, me and Todd are way boring. He wants to talk to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just, anybody can. I'm not picky. Just behave yourself. We don't want any of that crap that happened on Sally's show that time. And I think that was Lang probably.
Yeah, so not only are we boring, he just insulted us by saying he'd let anybody take anybody. See that? How many times? What cat number is this? 2, 3, 5, 10?
She's been good tonight. Now, let me tell you what, she sleeps in a box between our pillows at night. She's gotten where she does that. And she is good as gold unless you happen to reach up there and touch her. And then she's got to get down and see what's going on. But it's going to be really ugly if they start. We can tell you ain't picky. Thank you, Mike. It's going to be really picky if more states, because I'm going to be honest with you. I would expect North Carolina to be right behind California on this these electric car bit, because they want to be California.
So the North Carolina legislature is Republican still, right?
Yeah, but we still got that stupid governor.
Yeah, but your next governor is going to set all that right.
But see,
your lieutenant governor will be your next governor. I'd be shocked if he can't. I'd be shocked if he can't win the governorship as the next governor.
We've got. If you look at the results from the last election, the whole the whole state is Republican, except for Charlotte, Asheville, Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham area. They vote Democrat.
Yeah, but they're going to be in a conundrum when you put a black man up there. And now, how many of that is he going to siphon off? He's a good speaker. He excites the Republican base, and he'll bring. I'm telling you, that's your lieutenant governor is your next governor.
And if you don't vote for him, you're racist.
I like him. If I lived there, I'd vote for him.
What was it?
When
you're not black if you don't vote for me. Is that what your president said?
Not my damn president. Trump wouldn't say nothing like that.
No, but isn't that what? That's what he said. Wasn't it? If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
That's what he said.
I don't see how electric cars would ever work in Texas. I mean, we get
everything so far apart.
Even if they built an electric car that would go a long ways and cheaply, 90% of the electricity in Texas is made from natural gas. So what are you accomplishing? You're still burning fossil fuels to make the electricity.
You're not allowed to tell people that they're supposed to think it's made with fairy dust and shit.
Yeah, 90% natural gas.
I think
8% coal. There's only like 2% made with all those windmills that they put up all over the place.
Junk Trader says, "Where are all those electric?"
Yeah, John. Electricity comes out that plug in the wall.
She said, And as I said, where are the electric semis delivering our crap?
You should
See,
see
that's
the
another
coal
thing.
trains just running through our town. And they're going straight to a power plant. Crazy. What?
It's going to just, we have a lot of infrastructure problems. To be heavy reliant on trains to move our product around. I mean, really.
I live in Central Texas, and everything west and south, it's just too far to drive to expect an electric car to make it even halfway through all that.
Now, my son has a friend that his
Craziness.
dad has one of the fancy Teslas. And they can drive from here to Myrtle Beach on a full charge, or from here to Hilton Head on a full charge.
How far is
And
that?
Hilton Head's about 4 hours away by interstate, and Myrtle Beach is 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and it's like back roads primarily.
I mean,
If you leave just straight to go to Myrtle Beach from Charlotte.
man, coal still produces 21.8% of the power in this country. That means 1 in 5 houses is powered by coal. Think about that for a second. 1 in 5 houses in this country is powered by coal.
Well, we have a big old fat nuclear power plant near us, and they ship all that electricity to everybody else.
Nuclear is 18.9% of the power in the country. Natural gas is 38.3%, and renewables are 20%. And everybody, solar is the answer. Solar makes up 2.8% of the power in the country. 2.8.
Yeah.
If I was a builder, every new house I built that was spec would have solar on them. Not for the fact that it's going to replace your shoreline, but it will keep your usage down because electricity is going to get expensive. Because they will tax the crap out of it to keep people from using it.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Sadie. You hook that boat up to your electric truck, and you've got your Ford Lightning. You've got about 97 miles. That means that if you sit at your house, you can only fish within 43 miles of your house and get home.
Yep.
Well, depending on where he lives, he might only be 10 miles from a nearest river.
Yeah, I told you I watched a video of a guy pulling a trailer from Colorado to Idaho. He had to stop 11 times to charge that damn thing. 11 times.
There was a guy that was driving a Mustang E across country. And he was like on I-40 going across the country. And there was all these charging stations, but some of them would charge, some of them wouldn't connect to his car. Some of them would charge like at 10% of the rate that it's supposed to be charging at.
Yep,
and he would unhook it and go to the one right beside it, and it would charge at 90% of what it was supposed to be charging at. And this is one of these big chains of charging stations.
Yeah, Eco America or something.
Yeah. And
all right. I got to get up and go do battle with the Lutherans.
Yeah, I got to get out of here too. Roberta's got to get on a call.
Thanks for having the show, Tom. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Scott, for coming in.
I'll be
y'all.
Thanks for everybody for visiting with us today. Look for Todd tomorrow.
He'll be by his lonesome unless one of y'all joins him because I'll be yard selling.
Okay. Have a good time.